up on sets. Had wonderful opportunities to meet with many greats, a lot of heavyweights, both in front of and behind the camera. And it's something that she honestly didn't try to, persuade me, or she actually didn't want me to do it. She really just, as you'll meet a lot of people in the business and they'll tell many young people, stay away, don't do it. And that's just only coming I think, from a place where if you really want to do it, you have to be serious because of what it takes to really do it. And depending on what level you go at it, from acting, behind the camera, whatever, it's hard. And you have to do it because you love it. So clearly being around it all my life, I had, my feet were wet. And I did start working when I was 13 years old as a PA during the summer. And if a small job came here or there while I was in school, my grades were well enough that she let me go do it. I'm telling you secrets. Yeah, it took definitely perseverance on my part to then grow out of Eleanor's son to when I decided that it was something that I wanted to pursue, which came after high school. I graduated from high school. And had gotten accepted to medical school that I wanted to go to, and just had a complete change of heart, and just realized that I'm not sure if this is for me, if I want to go to school for another 10 to 12 years and study medicine. And my mother and father supported me to at least take a year off to find myself, and make my decision, and they supported me in that. I knew that I was smart enough and independent enough that I didn't want to go waste money, which is why I just didn't want to go at that point. My father being a Vietnam vet, so you'll see how all this comes together. Definitely kind of pitched well, go into the service. You don't have to go full time, go join the reserves, at least. But what he was doing was saying, start while you're taking this time to decide, build a foundation for yourself. Because in the end, this will do well for you. So I tried it, didn't work. I swore in and swore right back out. I was like, this is not for me. And while I was waiting for my honorable discharge, she had just gotten on a job, a TV series called The Road Home, and I got on as a set PA, the key set PA, and it was that particular job that it clicked. Not knowing that this was around me all my life, I just didn't know it. And I've always had a love for film and stories and the art, taking photos, and so it was all, I think, just waiting for me to land at the time that I was supposed to land, and it really clicked. And so it did, and from that day on, God bless his soul, Bruce Paltrow, I remember him just having a few words with me and just kind of supporting and helping guide me of where I was saying at that time, what my direction, what my goal was, which I was still a little bit undecided. I knew production was what I wanted to do, and at that time I wanted to produce. And so I used to just kind of talk to him a lot on set, and he really kind of helped me focus. And that was the day that I said that this is my career. And I think also too, speaking of money, being a set PA, on Thursdays or Fridays when a paycheck comes, sometimes as the key PA, you get to hand out the rest of your department's checks, and I got to hand out my assistant director's check at the time. It goes in at first AD, second AD, then, PAs. And I had all our checks, and I happened to see my first AD's check, and I was like, this is not a bad direction to go. This pays really well. But it was just interesting on how it all came and developed, and I felt like it happened at the right time that it was supposed to. So that's kind of my story, and from that moment on, I got really serious, and I knew that I had to make a name for myself. I couldn't be Eleanor's son. Knowing that this business is a lot about nepotism and all about who you know, but still I knew that first, being a black man, that I had to be serious, and I had to prove myself. That not getting a lot of opportunities, that some of my counterparts would. I just not letting that be my first and foremost, you know, way that I dealt with anything, but I knew that it was you know, something that I had to think about, and it just helped me continue to be the best. And I just went out there and I hit it hard. I just started grinding. From that day on, I haven't stopped working. It's been a blessing. You know, and I went from, did 6 years as a PA. I was a second AD for 5 years, a first AD for 8, and I started directing on The Wire. Yeah.
The Wire?
Yeah. I think I answered all your questions. Part question.